Lara Towson, and I'm a friend of the show.
I am Francisca George, and I'm a friend of the show.
Perfect.
Hi, my name is Susan Leemans, and I'm a friend of the show.
My name is Zainab Samas, and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom.
Hey guys, my name is Sasha Vickery, and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom.
Hi, my name is Lloyd Harris, and I'm a friend of the show.
Hi, my name is Jaime Faria, and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom.
Yes.
Take one. Well done.
Hi, my name is Jasmine Paolini, and I'm a friend of the show.
Wow, Jasmine. You got it in one time.
Ready? Play.
Good evening. How are we doing? I can still hear a bit of music in my ears. But how are you doing? Tom here and talking tennis, and I'm going to take you through the Elena Rybakina versus Valentova. And as you can see, coming into it a little bit late, apologies for the delay. I am the most unprepared person to do a live tennis watch along, but we will wing it. I've been winging it since the day I was born. So yes, hello. I know it might be late, early, right in the middle of the day, wherever you are. It is 10:05 UK time, and I'm currently trying to battle with the WTA website because I've got to be honest, Tereza Valentova, not a name that jumps out to me in terms of knowing much about her. So again, enlighten me if you're watching and tell me a little bit about her. As I say, the WTA website is a bit of a pain in the bum, but we will get there. As I say, winging it a little bit tonight, and hopefully we get a good match. I think Rybakina is the clear favourite. The winner, of course, goes on to play Emma Rybakina, who is in a bit of form, inspired. Winning 6-2, 6-1 earlier on today, I think it is, or was it the other way around, 6-1, 6-2. All I know is she lost 3 games and she's looking good. Of course, winner here in 2021, who could forget? One of the most famous US Open wins in recent history. How have you thought of the championship so far? Of course, the final Grand Slam of the year. Got up bits and bobs. Of course, the big news for UK tennis fans and men's tennis and tennis in general is, of course, the withdrawal of Jack Draper. So British hopes fading a little bit. I believe that Cam Norrie's been taken into a 4th set. I just checked that out. But we've got Jacob Fernley, of course, good Scot him. So he won in 4 against Roberto Agut last night. So what's been your match in the championship so far? I always like to find out that of any viewers. What have I missed? As I say, a little bit unprepared. Haven't been consuming much of the tennis because my life is very, very busy. So what I'll do is I will talk us through the next couple of points, shall I? Just in case anybody's maybe listening or on a stream or can't view the actual tennis match. It's not actually on one of the big show courts, is it? That's what I think this is called 4 or. I just double check again. You must forgive my not only my tardiness but my Stadium 17. Stadium 17. So does that show you a little bit about how far Elena Rybakina has really kind of fallen out of the conversation? It wasn't so long ago we were speaking about a top 3 in ladies tennis, and that was of course Iga Swiatek, Sabalenka and Rybakina, and they were all swapping wins and losses against each other. However, Rybakina had a tough time over the last 18 months or so. Some coaching woes, or maybe not, as she would say. There has been injuries, health issues, early exits, form. So she goes into the Rybakina match, and you could argue Rybakina could be the favourite if she wins this one. It is at 2-2 at the moment. I'm just a little bit ahead of the scoreboard. So Rybakina is serving with the first set at 2-2. Good healthy crowd there in New York there, watching Rybakina and Valentova. Let me just try and see if I can get. Will we get any little bits for it? Hands up who It would definitely be Lloyd Harris. I mean, I'm a Carlos Alcaraz fanboy, but you know what? I'm not a fan of his hair. Why has that been the biggest talking point? That and bloody, what's her name? Taylor Swift getting engaged has been the biggest news of the US Open. What's that about? Yeah, Lloyd Harris seems like a cool guy. That's a very good question. I think I'm going to indulge that a little bit tonight, and let's hear who in tennis would you like to have a pint with and why. That's a thinker. That is a thinker. Because of course I would say Andy Murray, but I know he's teetotal like myself. I've not really had a drink in a couple of non-alcoholic Guinnesses for us, me and Andy. So yeah, tell me hands up if you know too much about Valentova, and you can enlighten me. She's only 18. There we go. 2007. Jesus, I was in full party mode in 2007. This lassie wasn't even born. She's from Prague in the Czech Republic. A right-hander, two-handed backhand. Year-to-date win-loss, 23 wins and 3 defeats. I'd assume that would be in challenger and junior ranks. Again, I would need to try and figure out how to use the WTA website. If anybody knows, because you've got a player listing, can you even search for a player these days? It used to be so much easier. Now I'm like, how do I search for a player? This is great. This is great tennis. Luckily, there's not many on right now. But this must be great talking tennis watch along. Me trying to figure out the WTA website. Hold on. There's a search bar. God, what is happening here? Right. Okay. So we're in as Valentova actually breaks serve. Shock horror. Tereza Valentova, 18-year-old, has just broken the Elena Rybakina serve. Okay, so she's a player. I like this. Not going to lie, came on tonight on the stream and thinking this could be a quick shift. Not going to point any elbows at who might have posed this question, but in the Talking Tennis WhatsApp group earlier on, there was a certain member that was wanting us to give our predictions on Rybakina versus Raducanu. A little bit presumptuous, but who knows, as a replay showed Rybakina losing her cap. Looks a bit strange when she's not wearing a cap on the tennis court, Elena Rybakina, doesn't she? Anyway, I ramble on. What do they say? I continue to stumble on from one mistake to another without any loss of enthusiasm. Let's go on. That's just my watch going off. Okay. Valentova. And then I'll take you around the Flushing Meadows ground, and we'll maybe look at some of the current results of the day so far, the live action that's going on. High sport and politics. Yeah, where is my biggest fan, Jake? Ghosty's not on. He usually likes a bit of chatter, and Jane, of course, the legends of this channel. None are here yet. Okay, so Valentova, she's currently in the top 100. Didn't know that. There we go. Number 96. Her highest ranking has been 92. As Rybakina steps into the net and then puts away the smash. No, she doesn't. And Valentova, from the smash, puts it down the line. Yes, producer. I have just enlightened everybody that Rybakina has been broken, and a certain member of the Talking Tennis team was wanting us to give predictions on Rybakina Raducanu, which I just mentioned was a little presumptuous, but I'm not going to point at who that might have been that posed that question. So yeah, Valentova, the first point of the game, she's looking to consolidate the break that she's just taken off Rybakina, and she was playing some good defence, but Rybakina was all over the point. Got into the stage where Rybakina was trying to put away the smash. She put it right to Valentova, who put it down the line for a winner. So it was 15-love. It's 15-all after Valentova's just put it into the net. She's got a second serve here at 15-all. So, would be loving it if she could consolidate this break. And she does. She must have just caught the line with that serve. No electric line calling there. So Rybakina, I think, maybe thought that one was long. And yeah, is there echoes of 2021? Good question again. Rybakina is that she won. It's a great achievement to win the US Open, but it's no secret, and there's no slight on Emma to say that the big guns got knocked off along the way, so much so that she met Leylah Fernandez in the final. Hello, Peaches, how are we doing? Let us know where you're talking to me from if you can. Let us know if you know too much about Tereza Valentova. I've got to admit, I don't. I don't profess to be a tennis encyclopedia. I'd just be somebody who's willing to come onto a public stream and talk about the sport. Valentova was 40-15 up with 2 game points. I think she's just double faulted there. I'm getting music in my ear. I don't know where this is coming from. Let me just check something. No, it's not that. I thought it might be my stream that I'm getting music from. Is this you, John? Playing this ridiculous lift music in my ear. Yeah. Hi Ashley, how are we doing? I've not seen any tennis today. I've seen bits and bobs of Djokovic. I watched the first set and a half. Saw that his opponent was struggling with the physio was on at some point, but I kind of knew as soon as Djokovic managed to take that second set that it was just a matter of time before the match would be seen out. Valentova has been brought back to juice by Rybakina, who will be looking to strike back straight away after losing a set. It looks like Valentova's gone long there. She has, and Rybakina has a break back point. Peaches. Okay, the most interesting, no offence Ashley, no offence sport and politics, but Peaches has got to have the most interesting where she's coming from. She's at the Open, John McEnroe over there, and she's at the Penko-Taylor match, and she's a big Penko fan. She's wearing her Penko shirt. Well, that is as cute as a button. Valentova has just gone into the net, so Rybakina has broken back. What is the US Open like? And thank you for spending time off your US Open by listening to the solemn drum of my Scottish accent. So, do you want to know a little bit about Tereza Valentova? She trains in Prague at TK Sparta Prague, I'm assuming, or Sparta Praha, as it tells me. So I'm assuming that'll be to do with the football team. She likes playing basketball. She is studying economics. Good backup if she doesn't make the tennis, although to be in the top 100 at 18 years old, I'd stick with the tennis, but who knows. And our tennis idols. Can anyone guess what the WTA website says that Tereza Valentova's tennis idols are? Anyone want to guess without checking, without cheating? Let me know, and I'll reveal all after this point. So Rybakina serves down the tee. It's a block return, and Rybakina's surely going to put this away. She does, but again she plays it straight to Valentova, gives her a chance in the point, but she puts it away with a drive volley at the second attempt. Needed that one. She was up 15 down. What is going on with Elena Rybakina? Let me know. That is some good matchups there. Peaches, I like that. Using your time wisely. What am I looking for? I am looking for my phone just to check the time. Right, okay, let's go around the grounds. 30-15 Elena Rybakina. I will update the points now and again. But what else is going on at the final Grand Slam of the year so far? Okay, live score, shall we? We will try them as Valentova. What's this there? First serve not in by Rybakina. Okay, so Frances Tiafoe is on the verge of seeing off compatriot Martin Dam Jr. qualifier. They're into the third set tie-break. Tiafoe 2 sets, 6-4, 7-5. That's at 6-all at the moment. So Tiafoe just a couple of points short from booking his place in the next round. Rybakina, of course, 30-15 up and 3-all after breaking back. And Valentova, looks like Rybakina, certainly for me, is now coming into the match. She's dictating and controlling a lot more of the points than early on. Maybe she underestimated her top 100 opponent. That would have been a silly move. Cam Norrie, I mentioned earlier on, has been taken into a 4-set, but he is a break up against Francisco Comensana. Jakub Menchik, 16 seed Jakub Menchik, he is a 2-1 up. He won the first 7-6, lost the second to Hugo Blanchet on the tiebreak, won the third, and are just about to kick off set 4. Arthur Rinderknech, that one's into the 5th set. That was a guess who he's playing in a 5th set. 5 guesses. It's of course ADF, Alejandro Davidovich-Fokina, always in 5 sets this boy. Rinderknech won the first, ADF the second 2, Rinderknech won the 4th, and they're with serve, although in the 5th, Davidovich-Fokina is love 30 down on his serve. And then if Rinderknech was to win that one, he'd be serving for the match. That match is 3 hours 5 minutes long for a 5-setter. Isn't the longest. Rybakina certainly turned this one around, won the last 2 games. She's 4-3 up as the players sit down. Elena Ostapenko, the one that Peaches is at, she is 3-love up against Taylor Townsend. And Luca Darderi has just started his match against Elio Spizzeri. Wildcard. He's already broken serve, and that's what's on court at the moment. Of course, Carlos Alcaraz, he'll be playing his second round match very soon. That's scheduled against Mate Bellucci for 12 a.m. on the Arthur Ashe, I believe. Yes, it is. It's on Arthur Ashe. Taylor Fritz, of course, coming over Lloyd Harris, the guy that John would like to go, the guy from tennis that John would like to go for a pint with the most. Who, if you could, would you go for a drink with in the tennis world, and why? Give us a chat. Give us a shout and let us know. Valentova, 15-love on her serve. What else is still to come? Ben Shelton against Carino Busta. Yasmin Polini is coming up at the same time as Carlitos. What else we got? João Fonseca, another one that Peaches was at. He's out. Thomas Mahatch won in straight sets in just over 2 hours. Casper Ruud, of course, beaten. Is that the shock of the tournament on the men's side so far? Casper Ruud beaten in 5 against Rafael Collignon. And that's a shock because he's what, like 100. Head to head. 107 in the world. I knew it was 100 and something. So, Casper Ruud, tough loss. Of course, a former finalist not that long ago, 2022. I think he was the finalist, wasn't he? What is going on with Casper Ruud? Will he ever reach the heights of the game again? I have my doubts, and I did say that not that long ago. Got Holger Rune coming up as well. Jan-Lennard Struff. I think Holger will find that one pretty tricky. I might be in the minority, but I just have a wee sneaky feeling for the big German. Okay, players are rallying. Backhand by Rybakina. Again, I mentioned a minute ago, she does look like she's in control of her strokes and control of the ball a lot more, and she just proves and backs that point up with a fantastic down the line backhand winner. Really nice stuff from Rybakina. Yeah, point of the match that for her probably. She's got her balance, she's seen the ball big, played it well, nice and casual. So who else is here then? We've got Peaches, Ashley, Sport and Politics I think maybe has disappeared. What's going on? How's the atmosphere in the Penko Taylor Townsend match? Rybakina did break that serve I mentioned a minute ago, and he's 30 love up on his serve. So looks like Alejandro Davidovich-Fokina, who's had a decent North American swing, looks like he could be going out second round. Jakub Mencic, they've not started the fourth set, so I wonder if there's. Oh no, they have. But my apologies. It's 30 all in the first game. Rybakina. Yeah, Rybakina taking control. She has a break point here, big point here to go. Elena Rybakina. Serve 1 from Valentova doesn't make its mark, so we've got a second serve. Rybakina should be right on top of this. It'll go down the tee. It does go down the tee, but Rybakina is on top of it. Good forehand, and Valentova hits the net. And is that the fight draining out the Czech? Elena Rybakina was 3-2 down. She now leads 5-3, and she'll be serving for the first set. Atmosphere is exciting in the venue. That's what I like to hear. Peaches. Looks like, or it sounds like, or looks like, I was right the first time. Looks like Ostapenko well on top of that one. Is that a surprise? How is she handling maybe the hostile American crowd? I'm sure will be right behind Taylor Townsend. We all know that Ostapenko can be a little bit difficult on the court, a little bit spicy, a little bit niggly. Might not take the atmosphere too well, or maybe she's grown up a bit. Maybe she's not that bothered. Let me know, Peaches. Let me know if there's any incident. I want you to be my on-court reporter. Sorry, I mean it's 10:30 at night here. I've been up since 6 in the morning. Give me a break, guys. Come on. Right, Rybakina 30 love up, 2 points away from the first set. Let me just double check what is going on. Net. He is 40-30 match point. Match point to the Frenchman. France v Spain here. Euro 2024 final. Can't remember what final. John will be able to tell me if that was even a final. And he's won it. He's won it in 5. 3 of our 13 match. The Frenchman beats Alejandro Davidovich-Fokina. He'll be really, really down, disappointed about that one. Of course, Rybakina next, no slouch, but Davidovich-Fokina was the 18th seed. He is now out. So well done to Arthur, please. I mean, I don't know the draws. That's how unprepared I am, but I just want to see Taylor Fritz versus Arthur Rybakina. Hello, Jake. How are we doing, mate? How are we doing? Every night you've tweeted me saying I heard that Tom's on tonight, and you didn't do it today, and I was on. So I just love how Damien just keep going. No, that's lies. Sorry, I'm just checking out the draw. You'll know more than I, Jakey boy. Just trying to see if there's any hope for an Arthur Rybakina Taylor Fritz matchup. Just considering their history. So again, great watch along viewing. Right, there he's there. I just saw his name. I've lost it. Right, no. Yes, right, there. Right, no. So, Rybakina plays Benjamin Bonzi. Next, of course, the man who overcame Daniil Medvedev. Apologies. The watch along we're doing. Yes, Rybakina has won that first set. Coming for the guy whose team's 2-0 down, and against Grimsby, and then brought it back late on, which probably saved the manager's job. I'm not going to take any sort of football chat from a Man United fan right now. Not much better for Rangers fans. Come at me. Is Russell Martin going to make the Old Firm on Sunday? Probably not. Of course, scudded 6-0 by Club Brugge. I know not many people care about Scottish football, but that is a disastrous result up here. Now, Rybakina is talking to the chair umpire about something. Now, I don't have any commentary, guys, so if there's anyone there, I don't know if it's because Valentova has gone off the court for maybe a toilet break and I think maybe Rybakina is saying she really can't do that. Is that not until maybe after the second set? You're not allowed to do that after the first set. Did Man United win, Jake? Okay. I'm getting shouted out elsewhere that I think it's on penalties, so I'm not to reveal what happened. So anyway, let's just talking tennis, not talking balls, not talking football. Anyway, right. So Taylor Fritz, Rybakina. It's not on. It's not on. I mean, it is technically on, but it would need to be semi-finals or not in the same club. That would have been box office, given their history at the French Open. I think Taylor just admits he just doesn't like the guy, Arthur. So yeah, we've got Alcaraz. Is he going to have any problems against Bellucci tonight? Jake, any problems for Alcaraz? And what do we think of the Alcaraz hairstyle? Are we thinking it's? I've got to say, I mean, I don't mind a wee skinhead. I used to rock them myself back in the day, but I think did he not admit that something went wrong? He was saying to somebody that he was getting a new style, cut it the wrong way, and just was like, I had to just shave the whole thing off. Anyway, so currently in the match that we're watching, which we might have short shrift with, but Rybakina's on court herself, just staying warm. It's looking quite windy down there. Got to say, Rybakina, she needs to ditch the cap. As soon as she's ditched that cap, turned this match around. She was 3-2 down, cap fell off. She hasn't stuck it back on again. So Valentova is now coming back onto the court. I wonder if there's some sort of suggestion that they're not allowed to have a toilet break after just one set. You know, you've got to be at least 2 sets deep. Because we all remember, you know, the Tsitsipas Andy Murray match from the US Open a few years ago, when I think he was doing it every set, and Andy wasn't shy to let his feelings known about that said incident. So, yeah, Rybakina, heavy favourite now, wins the first set. Staying warm there. I think she was thinking it was maybe a little bit of gamesmanship from her opponent, her Czech opponent, her young Czech opponent. So we set off, or we get going on set 2. Francis Tiafoe lost that third set. I think I mentioned earlier on, it was a tie-break and he was a couple of points away. Martin Dam Jr. has taken that 10-8 in the tie-break. Pretty epic tie-break, that one. So well done to Dam Jr. Cam Norrie's a break up in the fourth. Love 15 down on his serve, but he's 4-3 up in the fourth. Jakub Mensik, 16 seed. He is 2 sets to 1 up. And they are. He's just lost. Just lost a game that he was the returner. Hugo Blanchet is 2-1 up on in that one. Samson Nova, Priscilla Hun is starting soon. Ostapenko 4-2 up, but love 40 down. Peaches. Ostapenko we could be getting back on serve. Taylor Townsend. With that big American backing, surely she'll take one of these 3 break points. And Peaches, you need to let me know what Penko's reaction will be. Valentova punches the air as she wins that point there. Rybakina went long, 30-15. The 18-year-old looking to try and get back into this match. She was in control of it. The match was on her racket. She was a break-up. But couldn't consolidate that break from 40-15 up. Has to be reminded. She had that game, and you just wonder with these little moments, if she saw those 2 points out, all it takes is a net ball from her opponent. She's 4-2 up, and all she has to say to herself is just win your 2 service games and you're winning that first set. But no, that shows Rybakina's experience. She's still a big player at the big moments. Of course, Wimbledon champion, former Wimbledon champion. It's 40-15 at Valentova. Yeah, let's look at the completed matches. I missed them out earlier on, so 2 seconds. Right. Okay, sorry about that. Interrupted. I don't know why. Right, so Benjamin Bonzi, I mentioned him. He's into the next round. He backed up his Medvedev win with a win 40 minutes ago against Marcus Giron. Taylor Fritz beat Lloyd Harris. Lloyd Harris won that first set, but Taylor Fritz comes through in 3 hours 23 minutes. Just shows you've got a 5-set match that's just under or just over 3 hours. That 4-set match is well longer than that. Just you never know. Casper Ruud, I mentioned earlier on, he's out. Brandon Nakashima, God, why was that not mentioned in the Talking Tennis WhatsApp? Brandon Nakashima is out to a qualifier, Jerome Kim from Switzerland. What? That's got to be surely. Is that the shock of the? What's a bigger shock, guys? Casper Ruud or Brandon Nakashima losing to a qualifier? Casper Ruud, he also lost to, Colin Yoon is 112, I think it is. So I think he qualified. But yeah, Jerome Kim out. João Fonseca out to Thomas Mahac. Novak Djokovic overcame, losing that first set to be comfortable in the end. 6-3, 6-3, 6-1. Yuri Lehechka is beating Tomas Martin Echeverry. He lost that first set and then just strode out. 6-love, 6-2, 6-4. On the ladies, good win for Pegula, 6-1, 6-3 against Anna Blinkova. Christina Buxa, she's beat Alexandra Ila from the Philippines, who of course became the first Filipino to win a Grand Slam match there the other night. Azarenka's through against Pavlyuchenkova, 6-3, 6-3. Emma Navarro, I think she'll do well here. I know she's not been in the greatest of form, but I do have a wee sneaking suspicion that Emma Navarro will press on. Catherine McNally, she took out 6-2, 6-1 in an hour and 18 minutes. But the quickest match of the day so far by 4 minutes from Jessica Pegula was, of course, Emma Raducanu, and it was 6-2, 6-1. She beat Yanis Chen 6-2, 6-1, 1 hour, 1 minute. Not bad for a short shrift for a Wednesday work. So I keep saying short shrift quite a lot. I don't know why. Okay, so where are we with Elena Rybakina and Tereza Valentova? Valentova punching the air, and that's because she's 15-30 on the Rybakina serve. Rybakina reloading, second serve, and she goes wide, and we have 2 break points for Tereza Valentova. Okay, so Rybakina in a little bit of trouble start of set 2. Serves down the tee. Good return by Valentova. Looks like that break might have helped try and shift the momentum a little bit. Maybe there was a bit of gamesmanship. The players are rallying. Clearly, it's Valentova loves that forehand. Rybakina does look like she's controlling this point. She's just spraying the ball from side to side. Valentova, though, is there in plenty of time. Backhand by Rybakina. Now it's Rybakina puts away the winner on the stretch. Valentova doesn't get it back, and we have seen 1 break point there. The crowd liked that rally. The odds have come down on Rybakina winning this match, though, so the bookmakers are maybe a little bit worried. Sorry for the big yawn, guys. As I say, I've been up all day. Okay, Cam Norrie's about to step up to serve for the match against Francisco Comensana. Good win for this Cam Norrie. This will be good getting to the third round, considering the news of Jack Draper. So good to have still some British involvement. Oh, the music's gone. There we go. Thank you for that, John. I felt like I was in a lift, and I was just like waiting for the doors to open, but they just never would. What a horror show that was. Okay, thanks for that music, John, and thanks for cutting out. So, Tereza Valentova, she has broken serve, and so she's 2-love. Now, remember, she was a breakup in the first set. but it looks like she's had a quiet word with herself during that toilet break. Rybakina putting back the hat on now. Don't do it, Elena. Maybe she thinks that will change her fortunes, just like removing it did in set one. Now, can Valentova, can she hold on to serve this time? She couldn't a little earlier. So let's see if she can do it this time. And it's not looking good because it was a great return by Rybakina. I mean, it was a great first serve right out wide. Rybakina though read the serve early, got the return into down the line, and she can only be blocked wide by the Czech. So love 15. First serve goes into the net. Anything else happening? And it's love 30. Valentova, this was a problem in the first set, and I'm going to call it here. If Rybakina breaks here, she wins this set 6-2. Maybe the hat change is working. Whenever she loses her serve, she either takes the hat off or puts the hat on, and she starts to turn it around. Interesting chat from Simple Tim Henman about Jack Draper. He's speaking about. The headline is Tim Henman explains why he's worried about Jack Draper as he withdraws from the US Open with injury, and I think he's talking about his long-term career. Jack Draper, of course, taken to Twitter, or X as it's known now, said, "Hi guys, I'm sorry to say I'll be withdrawing from the US Open." Of course, he did win in his first round match. I tried my very best to be here and give myself every chance to play, but the discomfort in my arm has become too much, and I have to do what is right and look after myself. Thank you for all your support. Now, Jack Draper hadn't played in 7 weeks before coming to the US Open, so it was no shock and no surprise, really. But yeah, we'll discuss that just after. It was 3 break points at Elena Rybakina, a good 1-2, served in the tee and then put away the +1 by Valentova, saves one of those 3 break points. But Rybakina has 2 more just to break back immediately, just as she did in the first set. The players are rallying. Surely Valentova's going to put it away. Rybakina looks tired. Got to say, she's not really chased down a couple of balls there. Yeah. So Tim Henman and Laura Robson were discussing Jack Draper on Sky Sports after his US Open withdrawal. What did Tim say? Continue the discussion. Point and a clear-cut concern for Draper. The obvious concern is that Jack hasn't played since Wimbledon. He has taken a cautious approach and been off cautious approach. Wow. Can you say that? Try and say cautious approach. Oh, there we go. I just did it. Rybakina has broken serves. What nonsense I talk. Broke back straight away. So, oh no, she hasn't. Sorry, I thought the scoreboard disappeared from my screen, and Rybakina was walking to the towel, which I thought meant that she had won that one. But she hasn't. So we're back to deuce. 3 break points saved by Valentova, whose first serve goes into the net. Needs to get this serve in. And she doesn't. Another break point, a 4th break point of this game for Elena Rybakina. We'll talk you through this one and then we'll go back to Tim Henman. I used to love Tim Henman. He was the Brit, the main Brit when I was first getting into tennis. Or Jeremy Bates. He was floating about, but he was coming to the end and he was rubbish. First serve from Valentova, attempt down the tee. Again, doesn't make its mark. So we've got a second serve here. Rybakina, good return, deep return, and Valentova. That's where Rybakina is hurting the younger opponent. Her length, her depth. She's hitting that baseline, and with Valentova on the backward run, she just doesn't really have the power to try and meet that ball and get it over the net. And time after time, she either puts it wide or, as I say, she doesn't even get it over the net. So break straight back by Elena Rybakina. Now, my theory is that she will go on to win this fairly comfortably from here. I'll get an early night. How about that? Picked the right match. Right, so Tim Henman, as the players sit down, Valentova with a towel covering her face. I hope it's not tears, but sometimes just, when chances go, you just can't pick yourself up. Tim Henman continued the discussion, pinpointing a clear-cut concern for Draper. This is a story on Tennis Head regarding Jack Draper and Tim Henman worried about. The obvious concern is that he hasn't played since Wimbledon. He has taken a cautious approach and been off the match court for 53 days. He has played one match and it's not good. You would have thought it is still going to take quite some time to recover. He has had such a good year and is right up there in the race to Turin, which is going to be a massive priority for him. So it's very frustrating that he hasn't been able to compete in a tournament that he did so well in last year. Jack Draper's status of world number 5 has been ended, so he loses his world number 5. Where is it now then? Let's get the live rankings up. Live ATP rankings. Jack Draper down to 7. Novak Djokovic. He remains at 6. New career high. Ben Shelton is the new world number 5. I did not know that. But yeah, he has skipped over Jack Draper with Novak Djokovic staying in the same place. But yeah, Ben Shelton jumps one place. In fact, he was number 6. Djokovic has popped up one from number 7, and Jack Draper drops 2. Now, did you know? I did not know this. Is this the race? This is the ranking. Why is this live ATP ranking got Carlos Alcaraz as world number 1? I mean, if Carlos Alcaraz wins this, could he still make world number? I thought that Sinner was that far ahead. There was no chance of this. But of course, Sinner's defending the points. Sinner's defending being the champion. Of course he is. Okay, interesting. So Carlos Alcaraz could be world number 1. But is world number 1? Why is that reading it like that though? Okay. Anyway, Rybakina 30 love up, 30-50. Anyone want to clarify why the live ATP ranking is telling me that Carlos Alcaraz is world number 1? It says he's on 9590 points and Sinner's 9530 points. Why is this not all over the news? Aye. So he's live ranked world number 1, Carlos Alcaraz. Listen, I think Isak is a good player. I think he's went about it the wrong way. I think this whole I was promised something. So what? I think what's happened is he said I want to go at the end of the season. And they've said if we get the right money. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Isak to Liverpool, I would be happy with Hugo Ekitike. I do think Arsenal look pretty good. What about that 15-year-old boy that's come on for Arsenal? He's going to be an absolute world beater. You've got Rio for Liverpool. I think Liverpool's new signings, and again, I don't want to go too much into the football because there'll be people listening and going, why are we talking about Liverpool FC? I'm not a big Kerkez fan at all. I think Florian Wirtz doesn't have the pace from the standstill. Wirtz likes to take the ball to feet with his back to goal, and then he ducks and dives one way or another. I think the pace is too quick for him. I don't think he's got that quick. I think when he's in full flow running, he's fairly pacey, but Wirtz, I don't see it. Frimpong looked very lightweight against Bournemouth. He was getting bullied, if I'm being honest. And Hugo Ekitike, I mean, he's had a good start, some good finishes. Is he the answer? Probably not. I think Arsenal are looking good. But we shall see. We shall see. So yeah, no, I get what's going on here in terms of the US Open, because obviously Carlos Alcaraz's exit so early last year, so he's not depending on many points. He only loses 40 points, whereas Sinner is losing 1,990. So as soon as the US Open starts, Sinner loses those points, and Carlos Alcaraz is world number one. There we go, clarified it all for you. So we're back on serve, 2-0. Valentova was, again, a break-up 2-love, but been paid back. We're at 15-0. Well, my theory could be absolutely snookered. Just to go back to the ESEC thing, the final thing I'll say on it is it's not the same thing as the Trent thing as any other fan from Liverpool. Trent was taking Spanish lessons 18 months before he went to Real Madrid. He's been at the club since he was a boy. You know what the players do in this situation? They sign a deal and then they go to Real Madrid for 50 million quid and they bank the club a bit of coin, because the club have spent a lot of money on him, raising him for a long time, but he didn't. He ran down his contract. He signs on the dotted line. They don't get any money for him, and you're just thinking, why? Why would you do that? And it was just the fact that he was so elusive during the season, and it's not the same as ESEC. Definitely not. Anyway, so we had 15-30 there. Valentova on her serve has just won that point because Rybakina has gone long. I think the biggest shock to me all night is that Carlos Alcaraz is the world number one in the live ranking. That's mad to me, because Sinner was so far ahead, and even when he came back, Carlos Alcaraz was third in the world. Good serve by Valentova. Rybakina can't find the court with a return, so we are game point for Valentova, and my prediction could be scuppered, just like that. I said that she would lose this set 6-2 after failing to consolidate that break. However, first serve has just hit the net. Looks warm in there. If Peaches is still on, Peaches, could you let us know? Is it clammy? Is it warm? Is it sticky? Is it sticky? What am I talking about? Jesus Christ! Right, so let's talk. Yeah, as soon as Rybakina gets into the points in this match, it doesn't look like Valentova has the strength to compete with her. There again, Rybakina, as soon as she managed to get her sort of feet out, get the depth that she's so well known for on the ball, Valentova is scrambling. She really is. So we're at juice. Looks like it's a little bit windy down there. There's the crowd watch on. Good first serve. Again, great depth. Oh, not great depth. It's long by Rybakina. So we have game point for Valentova. She'll surely see this one out now. Big point, this. Big point. The match is just about to tick onto the hour mark. Oh, Peaches is well outnumbered. Yes, I am. Yes, I am over Murray's retirement. I mean, is there the same get up and go to, when the Grand Slams come around? You know what? The thing with myself is, I'll try and explain this, what I mean in terms of being a big Andy Murray fan. If you were a Djokovic, Nadal or Federer fan, right? Not winning the tournament is seen as failure to you. When Andy Murray would rock up at a tournament, for me, winning the tournament would be like a big success. I mean, he only won the Grand Slams 3 times. And I say only. It's 3 more than I've got. So what I mean by that is, if you're a Djokovic, Nadal or Federer, you're no really in. I mean, are you really interested in the event until maybe the quarterfinals, semi-finals? Probably not, because you're like, it's like being like Man United. Well, let's not use Man United. It's being like an Arsenal, Liverpool, Man City fan, Rangers or Celtic fan. Like, you're so used to winning that if anything other than a win is an absolute disaster. And for me, Andy Murray wasn't that player. He wasn't like, yes, obviously, if he was losing in his plum, to like lesser ranked players in early rounds of Grand Slams, you'd be gutted. But what I'm saying is, it just felt like he was fighting for us all. He's a little guy from a small town in Scotland, a relatively small country, and he was beating these big players from all over the world. So my point is to answer this in a long way. I used to like, so the only kind of match that I would be like kind of really interested in is Andy Murray's. I've obviously watched the others, but it was Andy Murray was the one that I would stay up till 4 a.m. and watch. I don't have that same kind of get up and go like the other night, for instance, for Alcaraz or Pelka. I'd put the wee alarm on the tennis app, the TNNS app, to say, right, that's when it's starting, so that it notifies you when the match is starting. Sitting there at 11:45, like, I am shattered. I am going to my bed. If that was Andy Murray, I'd have stayed up and powered through. But even though it's Alcaraz, and I'm a bit of an Alcaraz fanboy these days, just love watching him play, I didn't have that get up and go. I was just like, oh, right, okay, I'll just find out what happened in the morning. It's strange. I mean, I was watching a video actually of the old course in St Andrews, one of the most famous golf courses in the world, the home of golf. And Andy Murray, of course, since his retirement, has become a bit of a golf nut. Appears in all like the golf influencers like videos and podcasts. Anyway, he sank an eagle putt on the 18th, the Valley of Sin, as it's known, and absolutely monster putt. I'm talking yards rather than feet, and just seeing the joy of him celebrating it. Go and look it up. Look at Andy Murray putt at the old course. Go and search it. The joy that he has in making that putt. It was almost like, he's had so much success in his life. He's celebrated big tournament wins. He's celebrated Wimbledon twice and US Open once. I wonder where that ranks. I wonder where putting that on the 18th at the home of golf. I wonder where that ranks in terms of his enjoyment, his happiness level. Has Rybakina just been broken? She has. Valentova, who faced break points herself in the last game, has now broken the Elena Rybakina serve for the second time in this set. And we could, whisper it, be going the distance. Of course, big breaking news, even though it's 3 days old. As soon as that US Open starts. But Tom's late to the party as always. Carlos Alcaraz is the live ranking number 1. I mean, it's all dependent on how many points he gets. But the max points he can get is 9,590 if he wins the event. In fact, the max points he can get is 11,540. And of course, Sarah can get those points back if he too wins. And that would put him in 11,480. So whoever wins out the two of them would be in the driving seat for the... I mean, I say driving seat, there's plenty of tennis left after the US Open, isn't there? You've got the indoors coming up, you've got Shanghai, and you've got the indoors. I might try and go to Paris this year. Well, we all go to Paris, Bercy. Yeah, I'm going to get John to get me. John, get me accredited for Paris, Bercy, please. And we're talking about how's the match been so far. Topsy-turvy. Valentova is shocking me here. I thought the wind would be taking out of her sails after, first of all, losing that first set after being a break-up, and second of all, then having a break-up again, and then losing it, giving it straight back to Rybakina. But this time she consolidates. In fact, she won her service game and then broke it there. And she's winning most of the big points now. Rybakina seems again to be wilting just when it matters. Maybe she needs to take that cap off. Every time she does, she breaks serve. Just looking for a wee didgeridoo. Oh, net cord, and that's long. That's well long. Yeah, that's long. I wish I could get my wee. I've got a wee tiny screen on Bet365 that I can't get any bigger than what I've got. So I'm just watching it on like a wee miniature portable TV. Well, good question. Do you think, and I mentioned this earlier on, I mean, we're still far away from Elena Rybakina being confirmed in this third round because she is 5-2 down in the second set. Valentova, impressive bounce back ability. Who do you think would be the bookies' favourite, first of all? Who would be the bookies' favourite for Elena Rybakina versus Emma Raducanu? I mean, does it depend what bookies? Like if it's a UK bookies or... But who would be the bookies' favourite right now? I mean, I've got to say, surely it's going to be Raducanu. Is the favourite for that. I mean, John's saying 60-40, and I'm assuming he's meaning 60-40 in Elena Rybakina's favour. But Rybakina, Rybakina is now the 9th seed. Remember when it was like a big three, a top three of women's tennis? She's not even in the conversation anymore. I think Raducanu beats Elena Rybakina in the next round. Should Rybakina get there? You wouldn't fancy it? Okay, Jake, I like that. Why not? Tell me why. Is it just a match-up style? Or is that big match that you don't think Raducanu can overcome? Okay, Jake. Where is that good day right now? She's a breakdown in the second set. So she'll need to try and hunt down Valentova here. Valentova has been winning the majority of the points in the last few games, and Rybakina, that looked long, but the player's still rallying. Now there we go. Good forehand cross court. Sorry, good backhand cross court by Rybakina, and just absolutely silence any doubters that she's still here. She's still right in the thick of this match. Yeah, that's one of our shots of the day. Got to be. I don't think it's as clear cut as 9 times out of 10. Got to be honest, Jake. I think Raducanu, there's obviously clear talent there, and I think with Mark Petchey and she's certainly, the level has gone back up. Certainly, not saying it's 2021 levels, but there's certainly been an improvement. She was turning up to events, losing first, second round for ages there. I mean, she didn't take Sabalenka far recently, but she caused her problems. Well, she did take her. It was no 3 sets. It was 3 sets, wasn't it? Anyway, Rybakina, 30-15. Her box, the camera is just jumping to her box, and not as noisy as it was maybe 20-25 minutes ago. Is there a ceiling for Emma? What is that ceiling? Have we just not seen the best, the fittest Emma Raducanu yet? I mean, have we seen a 22-year-old Raducanu? She's been missing for 4 years, 3 years. So we don't know what this Rybakina, who's like a full strength, peak age, good coaching around her. She's not really had a settled coach either. I've got to say, I think it's outlandish to say that she has a ceiling. I don't know if she does. I think she could. Genuinely. I think she just needs to overcome that, top 5 win. Get a top seed win, maybe a world number 1 win, and get that belief. I think Mark Petchey's been a great appointment in terms of like advice because he speaks so well on the TV, so he does. So we've got a set point for Valentova. Rybakina was 30 love up. Valentova hits the net with a backhand. We're back to just squeaky bum time for both players, because if Valentova doesn't do it, doesn't get this, and there's pressure on her serve in the next game, eek. Yeah, I agree, Jake. I think there's been a step up in level, without doubt, this last 12 months. So we shall wait and see. I may be proved. Oh, Rybakina's went into the net again. I think she can beat Goff. I think she can beat Coco Gauff. Coco Gauff's very hot and cold for me. Like, I could not believe she won that French Open. Could not believe it. She's taking Sabalenka, who I think is probably, I mean, Igor Swiatek right now. Make it a non-alcoholic one, Jake, and you can send it to my house. Right, another set point for number 2 for Tereza Valentova. She's hit the net again. What's wrong with this lassie? I mean, it was a kick serve, second serve. Your teetotal until tomorrow. Fair enough. All right, until tomorrow. I thought you were on the wine right now. What's happening tomorrow, Jake? Surely there's a mad party somewhere. Right, players are rallying. Valentova's hit the net again. I've never seen a player hit the net as many times as this Valentova girl. Anyway, back to game point for Rybakina. And these are the moments you need to take when you're playing these big players. You need to grab the opportunities when they're presented to them. Ask Celtic about this. Celtic, Dyson Maeda, 85th minute, clean through in goals in Kazakhstan. Absolutely mullers the ball over the bar. Celtic end up going out on penalties. How do you like them apples? It was a shame. Anyway, Rybakina does hold serve, so we're at 3-5. And as I say, you've seen this script many a times in tennis. Just when the person's had set points, the higher seed finds something from somewhere. Let's go through the other results. Last time we checked, Francis Tiafoe was in a little bit of bother, having lost the third set 10-8 to Martin Dam Jr. And they're with serve in the fourth set. It's 5-all now, 30-15 to Francis Tiafoe. Cam Norrie has just 2 minutes ago. He has just 2 minutes ago beaten Francisco Comensana. He just won 7-6 in the fourth set tiebreak, which says he was a break up in that and he was serving for the match. So it shows you that the Argentine did break in that service game and forced the decider. So good resolve by Cam. Jakub Mencic has lost the fourth set. So the players, Ugo Blanchet and Jakub Mencic, they've been swapping sets. Are now into a fifth. And Ugo Blanchet has got 3 game points. Rybakina's won the first point on Villanova has won the first point. The players are rallying at the moment. Good depth by Valentova, but same by Rybakina. Rybakina looks to be in control, but Valentova, she's quite fast around the court, and that, as I say, that absolutely messes up her lines. Tries a drop shot because she probably didn't have anything left to give. She'd been pushed around the court by Elena Rybakina. But if you see this drop shot, this is where you look at videos and say, don't do this drop shot. It didn't even make the service box. So Elena Rybakina, love 30 on the Valentova serve. Ostapenko, who was 4-1 and 3-love up, lost that first set to Taylor Townsend. And Peaches, is she imploding because she is a double break down in the second set? Jake, I will never question your tennis knowledge, my friend. I bow to your tennis knowledge. You should be doing this stream. But my only response would be, yeah, I don't think it's 9 times out of 10. It's probably the salient point. Okay, a double fault by Tereza Valentova. She loses her service game to love. The players are going to go for a sit down. Okay, I make many calls in tennis and many times I get it wrong, but I said if she doesn't take these set points, Rybakina is going to break in the next game. Is this the moment where the 18-year-old Tereza Valentova, is this the moment that just that youth creeps in? She can't get out her own head. She's missing opportunities. Again, she sits with a towel over her head, covering her face. Again, fingers crossed it's not, tears. Where are we going next? Anything else just finished? Let's look at the Tiafoe match. He's won that 6-5, the fourth set. So Martin Dam Jr. serving to stay in the match. Jakob Mencic, Samson Nova, and Priscilla Hun is going with serve in the first set. Ostapenko, Peaches, talk to me, tell me. Surely there's going to be a story there. It's a game. Life is a matter of opinions, and yours are very valid. Yours are as valid as the next person's, Jake, mate. I like your opinions. I like your strong sport ethic. You love your sport, and I love that about you, mate. Every time I check you on Twitter, you're talking about F1 or some rugby league or rugby union match in Wales that I've never heard of. So, mate, fair play to you, mate. You absolutely consume all the sport that you can. And I love that. Daniel Altmaier beating Medvedev yesterday. Was that a shock? Shock for anyone? I mean, I'm just trying to look for the shock of the event so far. And surely it is... Well, obviously the Medvedev thing. But is it a shock? He's went out in the first round the last... Jake, what's been your shock of the US Open so far then? Talk to me, brother. Let's start with the men's. On the men's side, I did have a name there earlier. That's totally... Brandon Nakashima. Going out to Jerome Kim. That's for me. In 30-15, Elena Rybakina, 2 points to level up this set at 5-all. Match is an hour and 20 minutes long. Right, okay, hold the bus, guys. I said on the men's side. Jesus, ganging up on me. Agree, Jake. Well, you didn't listen to the question, did you? Let's start with the men's side. Silly boys. Rybakina at 30-all. Valentova won that point. Right, I will task you to give me a men's draw shock of the event so far from the first 3 days. Again, Valentova. Good depth by Rybakina. It's been the story of the points. When Rybakina can get into the points and find the length, find the depth, Valentova can't get over the net. I've never seen a girl hit the net so many times on the exact same point. She plays it down the middle of the court. Valentova can't get it over. Anyway, game point, Rybakina to level up the second set. First serve goes wide. I like that though. Somebody was never a big Steph fan. That is good play by Rybakina. That backhand is phenomenal when it gets going. That was placed to perfection. Good second serve. Good return right at feet, right at the body by Tereza Valentova. But that backhand down the line, just Valentova ran out of room. I'm thinking Brandon Nakashima getting beat by Jerome Kim of Switzerland. I think that's a pretty big shock, and especially in terms of the amount of praise and bigging up that Brandon Nakashima gets in the Talking Tennis WhatsApp. That one was a big shock. I thought he was going to have a big event. So Rybakina has definitely come back into this second set. Of course, she was 2-5 down. She's now brought it back to 5-all, and use her at it. Are you texting each other saying, let's say the same thing? Steph winning. I mean, yeah. What do they say, classes? Oh. Honestly, if I hear Nakashima baby one more time in that WhatsApp group, that and Lerner TN, absolute like beacons of heroism in that group. There you go, Jake. There you go, Jake. Anyway, right, we're at 15-all. Just watch. Vance might come for you. 15-all, second set. Rybakina Valentova, US Open, Stadium Court 17. That's out. That's out. It's not out. Players are still rallying, and then it's put away for a forehand winner on the rise by Tereza Valentova. Lovely stuff there. Good resolve from the 18-year-old. Could easily fold. Good depth to set that point up. Well done. 30-15. Big 2 points coming up. Is Alexei Popyrin? Anyone got a chance against Yannick Sinner? Could Popyrin do anything? Not out. That looks out. It's 30-all. 30-all. I hate to say that. I didn't think this was coming, but I thought this was coming. But at 30-all, Valentova, of course, 18 years old, playing in her first Grand Slam. And it looks like she's just wilting a little bit. Rybakina showing her experience. 30-all. Nowhere near over yet, by the way, but not a good return. Good serve by Valentova, and the return has found the net post. Rybakina loves that shot, though, just if she can get that on the run, up the line. Jake, I need to go to my bed. All right, pal? I've been up since 6 a.m. I've done a 9K with 5K of that at a pace. Training for a half marathon. So, absolutely not. Time is getting called at the end of this match or at midnight. Oh, Rybakina just had a fresh air shot. And so Valentova keeps on Villanova. Who the hell is Villanova? Valentova will get at least a tiebreak from the second set, potentially more. Oh, Francis Tiafoe. Is that because I was drunk one time on a stream and I just entertained you all because I was steaming? I was about to say a bad word there. I mean, that was about 2.5 years ago, so we're not like we can all remember that. Anyway, Francis Tiafoe has seen Martin Dam Jr. off. He wins 7-5 in the fourth set. So we've only got 2 other men's matches on court at the moment. Taylor Townsend 4-love up after winning the first set against Elena Ostapenko. I can imagine Ostapenko's mood is not going to be the brightest, considering she started so well, 3-love and 4-1 up in that one before Taylor Townsend turned that around. Samson Nova and Priscilla Hun is still going with serve. Samson Nova, the 17th seed. Luca Darderi, he has won the first set to love. He has bageled the first set against Elliot Spitzeri. But Spitzeri has fought back a little bit. You know, he's 6-5 up in the second set. They're at 15-0 on the Darderi serve. Darderi, of course, the 32nd seed. Jakub Mencic is into a fifth against Hugo Blanchet, qualifier from France. So, yeah, it's all going on. Lots of tennis still to come. What we got coming up? Of course, I said they have... So, Jan Lennart Struff and Holger Rune. I mentioned, I think Rune has got a tricky tie there, and I wouldn't be surprised if qualifier Struff came through it. Jordan Thompson, Adrian Manarino. Got to say, that's going to be a bore fest. But, yeah, enjoy it if you're going to watch it. Potapova against Mira Andreeva. Mira Andreeva up to the 5th seed. What a start. McCartney Kessler against Von Drusova, and Lee against Belinda Bencic. And I think, I mean, I'm very surprised. Why is it not giving me... Is Carlitos on court? It's not actually giving me the Carlos match, but I know that he's playing very soon. But I don't know why it's not giving me that up in TNNS. See, if you go to the upcoming, doesn't have anything about Carlos. Anyway. Oh, it will be an absolute bore fest, won't it? Manarino. Manarino, Jordan Thompson. It'll just be hit. You're talking like it'll be a 4-set match that'll be 5 hours. You couldn't pay me to do the watch along on that one. I could tell you not. Anyway, on that, John, I'll do Paris. And I'm being serious. I'll do Gay Paris. If you can get me the old media badge. Where have I been doing media duties for recently? I did Hibs versus Kilmarnock up in Scotland. I'm doing Partick Thistle versus Raith Rovers on Saturday. There was definitely, I did Transmit recently, which is a music festival in Scotland. And there was something else that was fairly big. I keep all my wee media passes. Any journalist that tells you that they don't do that, they're lying. I keep all my media passes. They're cool. Anyway, Rybakina is game point to take it into a tie break. And she does it with a good serve out wide. It can only be met with a net ball. She looks up at her box. She gets a little fist pump from the box. And we're into a tie break. Of course, this one is just 7 points. We are ahead of the TNNS app because it's only saying that they're at 5-6 Rybakina. How do you like them apples? Is that the second time I've said that in this stream? What is wrong with you? At least Mertens, Lulu's son has just started. Mencic having a bit. Mencic went out to Hugo Blanchet. That's a bit of a shock. Jakub Mencic, of course, Miami champion. Ostapenko. Ostapenko is on the verge of getting bageled by Taylor Townsend. What is going on? Is somebody watching this match? Has she just completely lost the plot? Has she just basically absolutely taken the bait from the American New York crowd? I don't think you couldn't see the comments, Jake. I just think John was being ignorant and ignoring you. But he does that to me all the time, so don't worry. Don't worry about it, mate. I wouldn't take it personally. So what happened? Man United, John. What's happened? We're commoners to John. Commoners. Anyway, Rybakina and Valentova swapped mini breaks in the first 2 points of the tie break, and then Valentova has then mini breaked again, and she leads 2-1, and she has the next 2 serves. So she could take a decent lead into this tie break before Rybakina gets the ball back. She'll probably need both points, in my opinion, I think. But she's plucky, this girl. She is plucky. I'm impressed. There's many opportunities, and she does a good serve down the tee. She fist bumps because Rybakina has hit the net. She's had many opportunities just to cave and go, do you know what? This is too much. This level's too high for me right now. But she's continued. She hasn't let the disappointments of losing, break after break after break. And she's fought back again. That was long though. So we are we're with the ball with serve. It's 2-3. Rybakina is serving. I'll take you through these next couple of points. Ostapenko won't get bageled because she's just broken the Taylor Townsend serve. So she does have a game on the board in that second set. But please, anyone watching it, let me know what's going on over there. If Peaches is still on the line, she can let us know, I suppose. So we went through Cam Norrie, we went through Taylor Fritz, João Fonseca's out. João Fonseca, what are we thinking? I remember going into Australia and it was all the pre-match hype about João Fonseca. What's happened, Peaches? Talk to me. Tell me. Oh my God, Penko is what we're getting told. Come on, you're my on court provide. It's getting late. Not good for Penko. Tell me what's going on. I'm imagining there's got to be a story in here somewhere. She's just broken serve. She's now love 40 down. Valentova again takes the next point. So it's 2-4. She's 3 points away from leveling up this match. Players are rallying, but the ball goes long by Valentova. So we're now at 4-3 Valentova, and she has the next 2 serves to try and set up that set point. Set up that set point. That's terrible grammar. Try and use a different word. Ostapenko. I should have done that match. Why did we not do that match, John? Oh, she's lost. Taylor Townsend has beat her 6-1. She has begetted her. Rybakina has gone long. So we have 5-2 Valentova. Just the 1 mini break in it. Rybakina wins this point. We're back on serve. So it might seem like a big lead with only 2 points to go. But it's just, there's 1 point in it, really. First serve not in by Valentova. Big point, this, I think. This one is more or less going to decide which way this set goes for me. Slower second serve. Rybakina gets it over the net with a backhand, and Valentova, I've told you, I have said to you, I've never seen a player hit the net so much than this Valentova girl. She does it again. It's 4-5, and we're on the Rybakina serve now. We're back on serve. Rybakina, good first serve, block return, doesn't find the court. We're at 5-all. Total points won in this second set. Rybakina, 41 points. Valentova, 42 points. What's going to happen here? Oh, good return by Valentova, and Rybakina doesn't even get a racket on it, and we are 1 set point for Valentova. Remember, she did have 2 set points in the 8th game at 5-2 up. Couldn't take them, lost her serve. Rybakina came back into it, but Valentova has a chance to right those wrongs and take us into a decider. Players are rallying. Good forehand by Rybakina. Another good forehand. And Valentova goes long. Yes, I like my Liverpool, Jake. And that's not a glory thing. Not because they're league champions. I've been a Liverpool fan since the 90s. Ask John, when I went for a pint with him in Germany last year, I was spewing facts about Stiginger Bjornaby and Rob Jones and Mark Wright. Not that Mark Wright, the old Mark Wright, the ginger-haired bald one. Robbie Fowler. The 90s were my era of Liverpool. So no, yeah, I've always been a red. Anyway, but it's 6-all, Valentova and Rybakina. Valentova has the ball in hand. Again, massive point coming up. She needs to win this point, or Rybakina will have set point with 2 serves. So let's see what happens here. 6-all. She's had so many chances as the young Czech. Maybe that inexperience has just cost her that little bit. Oh no, my stream is nearly frozen there. First serve hasn't made its mark. She's not going to double fault here. She doesn't double fault, but Rybakina gets a great ball, great length, great depth on it. And Rybakina goes long there, surprising. Valentova again, fist pump. What, my supporting of Liverpool is repulsive? What's going on here? We have a the second serve from Rybakina found its mark, and Valentova goes long with the return. That's criminal. You can't do that. She had a big chance. That was probably her biggest chance on that second serve. She hasn't taken it. We've got another Rybakina serve. I feel Rybakina is going to take this on her first match point. Good serve out wide. Valentova goes into the net. Rybakina has a match point. Bookies certainly think that Rybakina, there's no way back for Valentova right now. The match has been locked. What are we going to do? Jake, come on, you. His game set and match. Elena Rybakina, apologies for the lack of commentary, but I just don't know what I've just witnessed there. I said I thought Rybakina would take it on her first match point. Second serve, returned by Rybakina. I mean, Valentova, she there was just not a shot there that was played. She absolutely shanked it, as we say. And I'm not going to take that bait. I am not going to take that bait. Absolutely not. Let's finish up. And so we've got Carlos Alcaraz coming up next. I'm going to my bed. But not listen. There's not been tons of you on tonight, but there's been the best people on tonight. You know, Jake, Peaches, we had Sport and Politics a little earlier on, and don't listen to him, Jake. Don't listen to him. He's the one trying to distance himself from Man United now that they're so cheddar. Honestly, he's thinking about other teams, that guy. Anyway, right, guys. Been an absolute pleasure. Been a bit nonsense spoken as usual. Sometimes the single shift can be tough because you've only got your good selves to interact with, and you get bored of the sound of your own voice. But it's been a good chat. Enjoyed getting back into it, and I'm sure I'll do another one soon. Okay, have a good night, guys. Stay safe. See you later.
If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis.